Hakioi listeners, let's learn sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. You can join me on this podcast throughout the March Basho on your favourite pod streamer or the Let's Learn Sumo YouTube channel, where this is restreamed in audio. Try and do most of the nights. It is time to update the Isegahama violence scandal. Former Yokozuna, now Isegahama Oyakata, Terunofuji, he self-reported to the Kyokai, the JSA disciplinary committee, that he had used violence against one of his stable charges, Fuji. Now, as you remember, Fuji, he's a former member of the Miyagino stable and a protege of the former Yokozuna, Hakuho. He recently changed his ring name, or shikona, to Fuji, and apparently after being forced to do so by Terunofuji. Won't go into that one. It has been reported since the initial story that they were at a supporters party where Fuji got himself a bit drunk and apparently was harassing one of the supporters' female friends. Now, Terunofuji became angry and somehow hit Fuji. There are reports that there was a bottle involved, and it caused fairly extensive swelling to Fuji's face. Fair enough, you might say. Well, the story is a little bit more nuanced than that. Firstly, I saw a video of Fuji in the pre-training. He looks fine. It's been made clear by the JSA that violence by Oyakata against their wrestlers is strictly forbidden. Not only forbidden, but it's likely to result in some fairly serious consequences. And even the closure of a stable, the forced retirement of the coach maybe. In a provisional result, however, the Kyokai has suspended Terunofuji from the March Basho, so he cannot attend the Basho. He can continue to coach at his remote stable in Osaka until after the Basho, when the full situation will be resolved. Now, as we know, a number of wrestlers came across from Hakuho's old stable Miyagino to Isegahama. The closure of the stable has meant that Isegahama stable did become very crowded, and the Miyagino lads were forced to cram into a basement area in some fairly simple facilities, and they were quite unhappy about that. Now, as Terunofuji has taken over the Isegahama stable from the former Oyakata, he's obviously carrying some debt from that transaction. There is a business involved in that. He's apparently taken on even more debt to build a new stable base to accommodate the 30-odd wrestlers he now has charge of. And it seems that that's been reported to be about $20 million US. Now, further to that, it seems that the financial situation at the former Miyagino stable was a little bit more free, and that was between Hakuho and his wrestlers in terms of supporters' sponsorship money. And the wrestlers were able to keep most of what was gifted to them. Only a small amount went to Hakuho to keep it going. It seems that part of the arrangement, since the Miyagino boys have arrived at Isegahama about 18 months ago, is that Terunofuji has implemented a strict control over that money. And of course, with a reported very expensive stable being constructed, has taken a bigger chunk of his wrestlers' incoming commercial monies, something up to 30%. Now, of course, this has made some people quite unhappy. The backstory is that Fuji got drunk and was apparently annoying a female friend of one of Terunofuji's big sponsors, and the one who was financially backing the build. Now, this has caused to upset the stable master, and the result was some violence, as we heard. Now, the good news, Fuji will be fighting this tournament. Certainly, this will have further reaching consequences for both, I'm sure, more so for Terunofuji. Rightly or wrongly, he will be punished, and quite likely harshly punished, if they are willing to suspend him from a tournament as a temporary measure until they get to the final decision. Now, it has been a bad week for Isegahama stable, with the story dominating the headlines, but also in the mix we saw one of my favourite wrestlers, Midori Fuji, also withdraw from the March Basho. It's been revealed that he has some form of heart condition. The translated stories on the news say heart failure, but I suspect that is not a great translation. Anyway, Midori Fuji is around the same age as Taka Keisho, who he did fight in high school. Rumours of retirement have been just kind of whispers, partially due to the heavy strapping on his wrists, I believe. The heart condition, well, it'll require at least a month of rest, and it speed up that retirement, but I hope not. Either way, Katasakashi King has a few more years left in him, we do hope. So on to the March Basho. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like button on YouTube, leave a comment on one of my platforms, Instagram, X or YouTube at Let's Learn Sumo, and we should see a really good Basho. Thanks for joining me, folks. Hakioi, Let's Learn Sumo.